Piano rolling.
Kumite.
Kumite, bitches. That wasn't an ad lib. I actually have that in the script.
Can I order a kumite latte, please? With extra kumi?
Kumite, extra soy. Welcome to episode 98 of Rebels Without a Pod, the show that dares ask the question: do you want to listen to some just real idiot podcasters talk about fighting tonight, but you can't quite get behind UFC 250? Ladies and gentlemen, you have come to the right place.
We are here for you.
We are here for you. Tonight, a last-minute improvised addition to our Cannonized cycle, stepping into the sweat-stoked, bone-snapping world of Jean-Claude Van Damme's 1988 martial arts spectacle, Bloodsport. Forget the hip, high-polished blockbusters of the late 80s. Safari men Golan and Globus decided that the ultimate recipe for an action phenomenon was a number of factors: a shoestring budget, a dubious true story by fight choreographer Frank Dux, and a largely unknown Belgian martial artist with a lethal spinning heel kick. Instead of traditional Hollywood action, tonight we get a relentless 90-minute combat tournament where all styles center around mostly just screaming at the top of your lungs. It is a glorious, neon-drenched monument to Cannon's golden era of exploitation, a film of 80s synths and near-constant splits, where the entire legacy of underground martial arts cinema rests on Jean-Claude's oily, golden shoulders. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is John. Joining me tonight is Pod Daddy Eric, aka Belgian Cheese.
Van Damme.
We also have producer Naveen on the ones and zeros.
Hello.
A little unclear. Co-host Andy may or may not be showing a little later tonight. We're kind of in suspense over that at the moment. But all that being said, our content currently up on the Rebels Without a Pod YouTube and Spotify channel. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Soon, not quite yet, but soon, also debuting on the Apple Podcast Network.
Wow.
Ongoing bit of work there, but we're hopefully getting up on like the Big Apple sooner rather than later. We're primarily an audio conversation show and trying to get established on Spotify and also Apple Podcasts soon. So we ask any YouTube subscribers, if you have a Spotify account and it is at all convenient, we'd certainly appreciate a listen there.
Hey, John.
Yes.
I got a quick question for you and all those Apple lovers out there.
Oh, for God's sake.
How much does it cost to create an Apple Podcast Network account?
If you are one of the, I think I read the other day, 1.4, an owner of the one of the 1.4 billion Apple iPhones currently in circulation, you're already set up. You're already good to go.
So what about all those free, right?
$3.99, my friends.
Yeah. All right.
$99. My goodness. What about all those poor schmucks that don't have iPhones? What about those fellas?
Our official corporate line at Rebels Without a Pod is that we don't care about the poors. But also it is entirely free. Set up an account on the Spotify podcast network as well, where we just recently hit a record sort of 300 streams for the show and over 130 hours, I want to say, of continued listens. So it's a metrics far outstripping any amount of time people want to kind of spend with us on the YouTube network. It's just, for like an audio conversation show, it's a better fit for us, a better fit certainly, and hopefully more convenient one for our listeners. So again, if you're coming to us from YouTube, we're certainly happy any way that you find us. But Apple and Spotify, they would be, I think, really ideal kind of places to check us out.
I think translation to what John's saying, we're flexible.
We're flexible.
We're here for you guys.
Yeah. Programming notes. We are finally going to be wrapping up the Cannonized cycle next week with a live watch and review of the 1987 Dolph Lundgren Masters of the Universe film. And I think like the decision was already made on that episode. We are also going to be, for anybody who's seen it at that point, giving a little live review of the Masters of the Universe 2026 theatrical release. I think everybody except for Naveen has gotten to this point.
Yep, I haven't gotten it yet. So hopefully Tuesday.
Really? Wow. Okay. So the joke I made earlier about Skeletor, I take that back. I never said that.
I must have missed
Neither
it.
here nor there.
Right. That was entirely off mic, my friend, but
Was it really? Okay. I was going to
that's
say,
entirely
yeah,
where the good stuff happens, folks.
it was a reference to genitals, folks, in case you were curious. Not
Right.
something I commonly talk about in the same sentence as Skeletor, but it happened. We're here for you. We're flexible for all types, all folks, all walks of life. Whether you're an apple or a spot of feeder.
Even the pores. Even the pores. Yeah.
Even the pores can get a Spotify account. Go to your local library today.
Aren't you glad we did this cold open rather than just getting right into the movie?
If you want to print
Oh,
documents, though,
could have
it's
been
still 15 cents per
Uh-huh.
sheet. But if you do color, as opposed to black and white, it's 25 cents.
A full-on American quarter.
In case you're printing out a resume, you want to be a little snazzy, make it pop.
Coward of the people. I don't even know.
All you new grads out there, some piece of advice.
Uh-huh.
Make it
Yeah.
pop. Make it pop.
While you're applying for a job at the library, you can just print out your resume there.
Mhm.
You're welcome.
You don't get the job, you're in a perfect position to immediately ask for a refund. Just be like, here, this didn't work.
Thank God I didn't buy a printer.
We live in hell. All right, so let's pause it at this point. Watch Bloodsport. We may or may not be returning with Andy, but we'll be back with our impressions very, very shortly.
Cool.
What? Kumite. They thought that song was going to be like the next big 80s
Right.
hit.
They thought that shit was going to be Eye of the Tiger when they first wrote it.
That was most of the budget, just
Right.
that song alone.
They put it in there
Bloodsport.
twice.
It's a 1988 martial arts action film directed by Newt Arnold. Script by multiple credits here: Sheldon Lettich, Mel Friedman, and Christopher Cosby. Starring, of course, Jean-Claude Van Damme and Bolo Young. Film was a career-launching gamble for Van Damme, who reportedly begged producer Menahem Golan to rescue the project from being either shelved or sent directly straight to video. Loosely based on the highly contested and largely completely disproven true story claims by the real-life Frank Dux, the film is a sweaty, gritty showcase of international fighting styles, filmed almost entirely on location in Hong Kong's historic walled city.
Nice.
Prior to releasing the film, Cannon Group executives had so little faith in the initial cut that the movie sat on a shelf for nearly 2 years, until Van Damme himself and editor Carl Kress personally recut all of the footage. Released in North America in February 1988, Bloodsport proved to be a sleeper hit. Driven by word of mouth and eventual expansion to nearly 800 screens, it stayed in theaters for months, ultimately grossing $50 million worldwide against a tiny $1.5 million production budget. At the time, critics dismissed the film as hollow and violent. Leonard Clady of the Los Angeles Times wrote the movie, quote, suffers from a visual flatulence. It's just
Wow. What year was this again?
This is Leonard Clady, just going, just doing a little split and just kapah.
I think he spent his entire life just taking shit out on people for being named Leonard Clady. It's like, my name sucks. Every movie's ass.
Right. Every movie is visual flatulence or visual flatulence adjacent. He also said that is hampered by a formulaic script, wooden dialogue, and lack of depth. David Keir of the Chicago Tribune added it was an unoriginal, structureless brawler that failed to provide any real cinematic motive. However, Bloodsport eventually became a foundational piece of martial arts Western cinema, heavily credited with popularizing style versus style matchups long before the UFC, certainly topical tonight, or any sort of form of mixed martial arts actually entered the American mainstream. Reflecting this, Rotten Tomatoes currently rates the film at a critic score of only 48% versus at least 75% when you query the general audience. So,
Nice.
let's go to our panel now. Both of you had seen this before, but Naveen, let's start for you. How was the rewatch of Bloodsport?
All right. So yeah, I had seen it before, probably when it came out on video cassette and things at a friend's house. I remember it. And I remember loving it, thinking it was great, a lot of fun to watch, and like, yeah, Frank Dux, go for it. Rewatch, it was kind of long and boring. I was
Whoa.
yeah, it just took a while to get to the fun parts, and so that just the buildup of it, which had not a lot of meat to it to like get you excited for it, was just took too long. And then obviously the kumite part was a lot of fun watching and things, but just that beginning dragged. But yeah, once it actually got into it, it was pretty good. And
But
enjoyed.
it was a lot of business to get there.
Yeah, it did, and a lot of like no character arc, no storyline really. Just him being chased by, or Frank Dux being chased by, the military, so he wouldn't.
Yeah.
It was just like a lot of nonsense. No reason why. We don't want you to get hurt. There's a what? Is he the only guy who's in the military? Like
it suddenly turns into kind of like a sort of like a British farce kind of chase scene at one point.
Yeah.
Like rather than just running for him, like Van Damme will run for like a little bit, then kind of pose like all cute next to like a bus stop, and they go, oh, there they are again.
His nice yellow jacket.
Yeah.
He stole that from Happy Gilmore.
Right.
I like how the cops too had like 80s tasers.
Gigantic 80s tasers.
Yeah, they're like, most cops these days don't have tasers, but we get like the technology through the military. And they just kind of kept threatening them with it. And when they finally use them, they just like knock two like Hong Kong cops unconscious.
Those things were like the size of like the satellite
I don't
phones
think they
during
tested
the
them.
Vietnam War.
They just made them. They don't actually test them out on people. They're like, let's just see what happens.
And then they finally use them. Van Damme immediately deflects it with a trash can lid, takes out two members of the Hong Kong police, and then everybody surrenders all at the same time. But fine, we'll just go watch Kumite.
Yeah.
Although I did disagree with what you were saying, Naveen. I mean, I think the slow buildup is purposely there. So it's all made up for when Frank gets out of the shower after having sex with Janice, the reporter at the hotel. And they just show a little Van Damme ass as he's slipping into his Speedo.
Right.
Oh, so that's what the buildup was. Oh,
That's
kind of something they did in most of his movies following that, right?
A little ass.
Just give him a little bit of bun. A little bit of bun. At least a bun.
We'll do a quarter cheek, and then we'll work our way up to half cheek. This movie's a hit.
Yeah, quarter cheek, fistful of quarters we got here.
I like the beginning where they have the shower and they're like, hey, what is it? The guy is supposed to go get Frank to bring him back to prevent him from going to like Hong Kong and the Kumite. So he's going to go watch Frank. And then Frank's like, hey, man, let me just take a shower. And he's like, all right, but I'm going to watch you. And then he gets there while Frank's in the shower. And he's like, all right, Frank. And then Frank's gone. And that look on his face. When he did not get to see naked Frank in the shower.
It's just like there are so many perks, so few perks to this job. So few things to get me out of bed in the morning. Papa, general impressions. Have you watched this recently? Like, how was the rewatch?
I haven't watched this in years. I liked it. I thought it was fun. Yeah. In terms of fighting, I mean, I feel like it was pretty good in terms of like the fighting scenes themselves, like good choreography, but also you can tell everybody's kind of doing their own stunts, especially Van Damme. He's just all in it. This is all about showing him off. And it's kind of over the top at the end there. He's doing like multiple kicks, the same kick over and over and over again.
He windmills Bolo 4 times before he actually lands the
quadro windmill,
right,
without actually touching Bolo.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's super impressive. Also, I said we should make this a drinking game every time he's doing the splits for no reason at all.
My final official split count was 7 for this film, but there may be 1 or 2 that I missed.
I feel like some of those should have been like 2 or 3 because he holds them for like, I don't know, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Every minute is like an extra shot.
For me, like this was really entertaining. This sits in an obviously really, really long shadow of Enter the Dragon, which we covered earlier on the show this year. Is still not just the, I think, like ideal version of this movie, but still to this day, the highest grossing version of this thing, like ever filmed.
Yeah,
it's got all the beats, all the matchups, all the same ideas. What struck me reading a bit about this, the story of like this movie behind the scenes, was just kind of 2 things. One, it was presented as the actual life story of the actual Frank Dux. We can kind of get into that like a little bit. But the other thing is just that none of us are martial artists. None of us have any kind of perspective on the training, the combat styles any individual fighter was kind of doing in this movie. And from what little I've kind of looked into this film ahead of time, I guess that if you got any knowledge, any insight of like the mixed martial arts aspect of this, different fighting styles, different sort of schools of combat and training are being, I guess, represented in this movie in like a really interesting way. And I think if you're the specific audience for this kind of thing, it's probably like really fascinating.
Yeah, we tagged hamster style.
I was there.
Yeah.
It's very. I don't. Again, what year was this? Came out
88.
88. But it sat on a shelf for a couple years. I mean, this came out probably right around the time Street Fighter 2 came out, or right before Street Fighter 2 came out.
A year after Mike Tyson's Punch Out was released.
Okay. But I mean, this is definitely Street Fighter 2 adjacent.
Sure.
People from all around the world.
Everyone's got their like individual thing. Bolo was Chong Li, even though like Van Damme actually was kind of doing like the Chong Li kicks.
The Belgian guy was supposed to be the Japanese apprentice that was carrying on Tanaka style.
Right.
I did like how they had that guy that's supposed to be the sumo wrestler, but you're kind of unsure. He just looks a little heavy.
Yeah.
But he keeps doing the bear hug where he keeps grabbing people and just like squeezing them. And I'm like, okay, how do you beat that? Like, I remember fighting E Honda back in the day and electrocuted with Blanca or
pure mass.
Yeah, use a Hadoken or something. I guess the trick is you just like do the splits and then punch him in the nuts really hard.
Right. What was that whole thing that they like that Frank set up halfway through the movie of like how Bolo he's like, just go for the gut. That's his weak point. Go for his gut. Go for his gut. And then they have like the final showdown. He just keeps kicking him in the face over and over again. There's no gut stuff like whatsoever.
He's like, look,
they're like 2.
Right leg.
How do we feel about Van Damme's performance of this? Like both like the good and the bad of it.
It's Van Damme. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, the funniest part is just seeing him, and they're like, he's American as it gets.
Yeah.
And he's got this thick accent, and it's like, we'll keep using him as an American. But he plays Van Damme. I mean, any movie he's been in, it's about the same. It's where he started and it's where he's ended up. Yeah, I got nothing more than that.
How come around the arena they had all those dogs, and then he kept stopping mid-match and being like, "Oh, hi, doggy. Oh, hi, doggy. Oh, another doggy."
We've not covered The Room yet on the podcast, but like the real legitimate Tommy Wiseau overlaps. There are 1 or 2 scenes. I'm like, this is directly out of The Room. This is wildly directly out of The Room.
people just had pizza showing up because he ordered pizza, silly. Spoons being chucked at people.
Janice, you are tearing me apart.
I agree with Naveen. You can also see like you mentioned too, the inspiration from Bruce Lee. There's just scenes where it's a lot of scenes where it just slows down and it's all in the face. He's doing all like the facial reactions where it's
Bolo and Frank both as they're making this thing.
Yeah. Although Bolo introduced that like jerk off excitement motion that he just kept doing over and over. Like everybody in the audience got jerked off at some point.
Right.
Lots of powerful he is.
Yeah, Van Damme was probably getting jerked off. He's just like screaming half every fight scene.
Bolo Young, 42 years young in this movie. This is a full 15 years. After his Enter the Dragon performance, if you told me like he did this 2 years afterwards, I'd be like, yeah, completely convinced.
Yeah.
How do you feel? How'd you guys feel about him as like a villain or like kind of like the last boss like this movie?
Yeah, I mean, he is the villain. He is the boss. I mean, that guy is just huge, and he plays it well. I mean, he did it fairly well in Enter the Dragon. I mean, it wasn't a very big role in that one,
right?
So I think he got a bigger role this time, and just being really menacing and getting to do his signature jump up and stomp on him. Actually, I think that was Bruce Lee who did it in Enter the Dragon.
Right.
So he got to do it now in this.
There's a little bit of like an homage, like a little interpretation, finishing Lee move.
Right. Yeah. So, and yeah, I mean, just the whole fact that he killed that one contestant and everybody else is like, all right, let's pay our respects. He's like, screw you guys.
Right.
Really, really helped propel that villain persona.
His face, by the way,
amazing
every time,
face.
like, oh my God. I love how it's like actual jump scare when like Frank's on the train coming home at night and he looks out the window and you see a reflection of Bolo. It's just like,
weirdly, between the Mainline Pod and Goose, we've covered 3 different Bolo Young movies this year, including Boxer's Omen from about 82, 83, where he's also like the main villain at a certain
than that. Total bastard. I agree. He just plays the villain so well. It's everything he's in. It's just like he's huge too. He's got the chest. His chest is so huge. I was trying to think. You mentioned Mike Tyson's Punch Out was a year before this,
right?
And there was one boxer.
I was going to ask you that there's one boxer that does like the pectoral wiggle.
The pectoral
wiggle.
Yeah,
does.
It was like, I believe it was Super Macho Man.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
He does that big swing where he just like uppercuts you once, you get knocked down, and then he just does the peck thing while you're trying to get up and you can't.
Yeah,
making
a pop. Let's talk like a little bit about sort of like the morality, the ethics of making up a story to sell a movie, to sell a screenplay, to kind of get something like this created. Frank Dux, the big story around this thing when it came out was he claimed that in his youth he was trained by a ninjutsu master named Tanaka Senzo, which really sounds like a Dragon Ball Z thing to me. But like it right before the credits on this film roll, it says, "Oh, the real Frank Dux fought in the real Kumite. He won 329 matches, and here's all the Kumite world records that it actually set." And then you do any investigation into this movie, particularly from an expose by the Los Angeles Times. Almost the entire thing, Dux kind of sort of claimed about his history. There is no record of his secret military medals, no evidence at all of any kind of hidden Kumite organization. And most of the trophies that he actually claimed to have won during Kumite were found to be purchased at local Los Angeles trophy shops.
I mean, I hate to bring this up, but Kumite is like Fight Club. So people are aware of Kumite, But I mean, they hide all the evidence of who actually, competed in Kumite and won in Kumite. So I don't think we can call it bullshit because it's like a secret underground fighting tournament that.
Oh, this is fascinating.
Elite can enter. So
yeah,
the right people washed it out of the news or made it to be.
You just think it just goes all the way to the top.
I mean, any guy named Frank Dux must be a real human being. Trained my ninjutsu master.
Naveen, anything out there?
Nope. No, that's said it quite well. Rule number 1, you don't talk about kumite.
Okay.
Rule number 2, you don't talk about kumite.
Okay, so just
backwards though, when they're like, the song is kumite, and they just keep repeating it over and over again. You don't talk about it, but kumite.
Let's do synopsis in brief if anybody has one, and then we'll get to final scoring.
All right.
Do you have one? Did you write them down?
All I have is a synopsis in brief. The karate adult.
Ooh,
I like that.
That's good.
All right.
I had a kumite, a cockfight, but for people.
I wrote that down too. I love the 3 teens breaking into Sensei's house at the start of the movie, and for whatever reason, it just looks like they're being robbed by the Beastie Boys.
Yeah. I like that. You're like, what you want?
A sword.
Give me a katana from a real Japanese master.
But then every time. Was it Ray Anderson? Every time he popped a beer in
Ray Jackson?
Ray Jackson. Thank you. Every time he popped a beer, I just went through Mite. I don't know that name yet.
I still like my one where I'm just like, Marco, Bolo.
When Frank closes his eyes.
Yeah, he gets like the whatever, the powder, the cocaine thrown in his eyes. He's trying to snort it all up and he just gets blinded by it.
Uh-huh.
Come on, Bolo.
Okay, score real quick. Score out of 25. How do we feel about this one?
Oh, God damn it. Oh, Van, God damn it.
I'm gonna say this is the most solid 3-star movie for me. I don't think it reinvents anything, but it was fun. This is a 15.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm like 3 out of 5 would be 5 points a spot, so it'd be 15. I think it's a little more than half.
That's good. I was thinking 16, 15, yeah, in that ballpark as well. So I'm gonna go with 16.
You're gonna go with a 16 here.
16. Yeah. Somebody's a Bolo fan.
Right.
Who isn't?
Or a Giants fan.
The only other thing I want to add is just she told me she was Cyndi Lauper. I didn't believe her, but it was really cool. Okay, so 15, 16. We'll do the math a little bit later on that, but before we wind down, we had, for me personally, as a person that kind of like the majority of the time kind of hosts, moderates this panel. We had, when Eric was not on the show last week, we did our Toys in the Attic episode. And at the end, I had Naveen and Andy face off in a obscure He-Man action figure quiz that we called Maximum Cringer. And it's one of my favorite quizzes that I think we've ever done on the show because they were both losing their minds. They're both terribly frustrated the entire time. And they finally sort of beat each other. There was no winner. They ultimately fought claw, tooth, and nail to a 5-point and 5-point tie at the end of this thing.
Incredible.
There are so many moments when Eric is not here. I'm like, Papa would have a good time with this, but it's a shame Eric's not here. But I was losing my mind so much of just we cannot deprive our listeners the opportunity to have Eric just screaming at this 80s toy quiz.
Oh my God.
That we're running last night. So before we wind down, Papa, presented for you. This is going to be a redemption effort You're going to have a solo quiz thrown at you, and we're going to see you're going to get one opportunity, 10 questions,
Okay.
multiple choice. We're going to see if you can tie Naveen and Andy, or even kind of beat their score. A tie will be 5 points. Being number one and master of Kumite will be 6 points or higher. Are you ready to go?
Wait. The master of the universe? Is that what you said?
Masters of the
Competing to be the masters. I'm competing against myself, so I guess, yeah.
Well,
it's going to be 10 questions,
here.
multiple choice. You got it right.
Okay, I can do multiple choice.
Point. Yeah.
I will go with the craziest answer every single time.
That would not be a bad strategy, because this thing was fucking infuriating. You guys are going through it. Okay, so can you see entering 80s toy kumite? Eric, can you see the slides for maximum cringing?
I can.
Okay. All right. The worst and weirdest Masters of the Universe characters. Here we go.
My time.
Into it. Beg pardon? Kumite introduced in the 1989 sci-fi relaunch The New Adventures of He-Man. The mutant villain Hoof is best described as a cybernetic hybrid of a humanoid soldier and what animal? Is it A, an alligator, B, a kangaroo, C, a grasshopper, or D, a donkey? No time limit. Just shout out when you're ready.
It has to be. It's a hoof. It has to be donkey.
That is incorrect. The answer is kangaroo.
Fuck this.
Hoof was a mutant tracking expert with massive biomechanical bipedal legs designed for high jumping and kicking.
Oh, look who's talking.
Laser.
Look at this. Look at this thing. That is not. Where's his
That's
tail?
the least. That's the angriest,
Where's
sickest
his-
kangaroo.
Where's his sack for holding Rue? That's the first red flag for
You
me.
mean Roof?
Rue. Oh, you've played this before.
Oh.
All right. That was a fluke.
Okay, that was a fluke. Here we go. Which bizarre character from the late 80s vintage line is an evil warrior android whose primary gimmick allows him to split entirely in half down the middle? Is it A, Twistoid, B, Multibot, C, Saurod, or D, Blast Attack?
Ooh. I'm gonna stick with D. I'll go Blast Attack.
Blast Attack is correct. One
Nice
point
job.
scored.
Yes.
The android warrior featured a cord that, when pulled, caused his left and right halves to spring completely apart to simulate an explosion.
He's vaguely familiar to me.
Vaguely familiar. I mentioned on the last record, what's fascinating is when you pull that cord, you split him apart.
Yeah.
All of his interior is bright vermilion, blood red.
Oh, geez, you're right.
This kind of implied that he does have like fully functioning organs, like literal organs.
I can also understand how he just like out of all the other like He-Man like action figures, he kind of got erased from time because he's clearly doing blackface, which was probably acceptable at the Halloween party he went to in the 80s, but yeah.
He was soft canceled before soft canceled was a thing. Okay, go to number 3. The 1980s character Rio Blast is best described as an inhabitant of Eternia who is also a what? An ancient Aztec warrior with mechanical wings, a deep sea diver with built-in submarine propeller, a futuristic cowboy covered in hidden flip-out lasers, or a medieval knight who transforms into a castle wall.
Or E, a limited edition flavor of Mountain Dew. For the win.
Oh, that Rio Blast! They made it with leftover shit from Fruitopia.
Yeah.
Rio Blast. Let me see. I'm gonna go with submarine propeller. That sounds fun. I'm gonna go with A. I don't know why A's calling me.
Ancient Aztec warrior with mechanical wings. Unfortunately, that is incorrect.
Oh.
Neoblast, complete with a mustache and spurs. Kind of channeling a little Chuck Norris here, but Neoblast had panels on his chest, knees, and hands that popped open to reveal heavy concealed blaster weaponry.
And yeah, just to agree with Andy, what he said before, it looks like a 70s porn star.
A little bit, yeah. I had this figure, but I think I must have ended up accidentally.
He doesn't have a cowboy hat.
Hmm.
It's kind of missed opportunity.
It's strongly implied he has a cowboy hat. So, like, no, too many guns. We've already kind of run the number on accessories.
Look at that. He's even got knee guns. That's
yeah. It's kind of sweet. That's not where you're expecting a knee, right?
No. They just push him. He's got wheels for feet.
The incredibly obscure 1980s character Plundor the Spoiler, a buff, bright pink rabbit villain who wears metal armor, has what ultimate evil goal in his only animated appearance? He wants to steal all the Easter eggs on Eternia. He wants to turn He-Man into a living carrot statue. He wants to transform his home planet Tranus into a toxic waste dump, or he wants to dye Castle Grayskull bright pink to match his fur.
Spoiler. He's a spoiler.
Plunder the Spoiler.
Plunder spoiler. Metal armor.
Mm-hmm.
Some planet Tranus into a toxic waste dump. I'm gonna go. I love B. I love B a lot. Turning He-Man into a living carrot statue, but I'm gonna say it's C.
You're going to say it's C. C is correct. He wants to transform his home planet Tranus into a toxic waste dump. This character was designed by
these
the animated series
strong
creator Paul Dini. Plundor was an eco-villain who stripped planets of their natural resources for profit, despite looking like a muscular Easter bunny. Paul Dini said in interviews later he designed him largely on Matt Groening's cartoon art of Binky the Rabbit.
I don't see it other than the fact that it's a rabbit.
Yeah. It's a loose interpretation. Question 5. What is the primary action gimmick of the vintage character Mosquitor? I think this was actually like a She-Ra villain kind of Hordak.
Yeah.
He shoots foam darts out his pointed nose. A pump on his back makes visible blood churn inside his chest. His wings flap violently when you squeeze his legs, or he leaks red ink from his stinger when pressed.
I think I'm going to fuck this up because there's also the guy with the elephant head that would shoot something out. I'm going to go with D.
You're going to go D. He leaks red ink. D is incorrect. It's actually B. A pump on his back makes visible blood churn inside a clear window on his chest. This macro gimmick simulated the insectoid villain draining the literal energy out of his heroic targets.
I did not have that one. That one's awesome.
Right. It's pretty good. I have the miniature illustrated on the right.
I was going to say that's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Question 6. So halfway through the quiz, we are 2 out of 5 so far. It's 5 to tie.
I'm doing it, Mom.
You're getting there.
What is the defining physical characteristic of the ultra-obscure Masters of the Universe Classics character known as Molar? Is he A, a heroic baker who throws explosive donuts? Is he B, a mutant worm with 3 human faces? Is he C, a muscular dentist with a lab coat and drill? Or D, a mechanical gladiator made entirely out of leftover vehicle parts?
It's Molar.
Molar.
It's Molar.
Eternian.
How could it not be C?
It
like,
is
how could it not be
actually C? He is Skeletor's personal dentist, complete with a lab coat and drill. He originated in an Adult Swim robot chicken sketch before Mattel shockingly produced him as an official, legitimate action figure, only $86 on eBay currently.
Eternian dentist. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And he's got the molar.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
You have an impacted wisdom tooth.
That's awesome.
The funniest
Holy
goddamn things you'll ever see. Question 7. What vintage 1980s action figure was packaged as a member of the Evil Horde, came with 22 separate snap-together body parts, and was marketed as the, quote, evil beast of 1,000 bodies? Was it Multibot, Modulok, Dragstore, or Horde Prime?
I'm locking it in now. Moduloc. B.
Moduloc is absolutely correct. As I
I
said in
had
the last
him,
episode.
and I was missing about
No
20
kidding.
of the 22 pieces.
Yeah. I somehow, by some miracle, had all of them prior to like the fire at the farm a few years
No
back.
way.
And like, but the thing I really remember as a kid and even as an adult, these things hurt your fingers like hell when you try to stop them together.
Yeah.
All right.
This was awesome, but same thing. I had all the pieces, and I'm like, it's just taking too much time. I'm just gonna kind of like leave them there.
Mm-hmm. Cool idea and concept. You actually have the figure. You put like one thing together at once. You're like, I don't know what this is.
Yep.
Question 8. What makes the action figure from the heroic character Netosa stand out as incredibly lazy from a design standpoint? Is it A, her weapon is a literal plastic butterfly that she cannot hold because her hands are molded shut? B, she doesn't have legs and must rely on a plastic scooter to move? C, she is an exact repaint of the He-Man character Ram Man, just with a pink helmet? Or D, her signature capture net is actually just her removable fabric cape?
Caption is actually just removable. Okay. I'm saying it's either A or D. Oh, because her hands are molded shut. God damn. Did you come up with these? It's tricky.
I had a Gemini assist that needed a lot of work because 30% of what it wrote was accurate, and the other 70% was just completely hallucinated.
I'll say D.
You're going to say D, and D is actually correct.
Oh,
While other figures had cool spring-loaded actions, Netosa's gimmick required full imagination and manual labor, making her one of the lowest-selling figures in the original in the final wave of the She-Ra line. You can actually see, if you kind of squint at like Netosa, to actually get like the net cape over her head, then it has a gigantic hole, like right in the middle.
God.
Not really the best.
Nope.
All right. With 2 questions remaining, this brings Eric to 5 points.
Oh,
So you have tied
Don't make me do it.
Andy and the Bean at this point in the quiz. So let's see where we end. Finally, another She-Ra question. The character Peekaboo is a member of the She-Ra's Great Rebellion. What bizarre physical feature does she use to spy on the evil horde? A fan of massive peacock-like feathers with human-looking eyeballs, a giant mechanical magnifying glass built into her chest armor. She can detach her own head and leave it floating mid-air to watch her enemies, or a telescopic helmet that extends her vision through solid rock.
Oof. Peek-a-blue.
Peekaboo.
I'm gonna go with A.
I'm going to go with A, which is correct.
Wow.
Peekaboo used these supernatural feather eyes to gain total omniscience over Eternia and Etheria, giving her a look that was more biblically accurate angel than childhood princess doll. Papa, you have gotten up to 6 points, beating both Andy and Naveen at their original run on the quiz. So let's go to our last question and then sort of see what kind of Kumite master you actually are.
I also didn't want to admit it, but I had a peekaboo. Actually, no.
Bad. Your sister had a Peekaboo, or you yourself requested Peekaboo?
I was asking for a Pikachu and I got a Peekaboo. No, I was content either way.
You were asking for a Peekaboo in 1988. Your parents just like,
Yeah.
I don't know, just get him some She-Ra shit.
Yeah, they're like, just get him that blue Rainbow Bright male doll. You won't notice the difference. Oh, was it Blue Butler? That was his name.
Eric would just sit in his bedroom, a childhood bed at night, just be like, stop looking at me.
Why don't they close their eyes when I close my eyes? I'm talking about you, Peekaboo.
You don't know me. What makes the incredibly rare late 80s European exclusive character Titus stand out from almost every other standard figure in the vintage Masters of the Universe toy line?
Super tight
His
ass.
body was made entirely out of glow-in-the-dark green ooze? Is it he had a fully working electronic walkie-talkie built into his back? Is it he stood over 12 inches tall, armed with a gigantic vacuum cleaner weapon? Or was he a tiny 1-inch tall companion figure to attach to He-Man's shoulder. Again, late 80s European exclusive, one of the rarest, most kind of sought after and expensive He-Man figures in the entire line.
Oh my god. Over 12 inches tall. Armed with a giant vacuum cleaner weapon. I have no idea. I don't care what the answer is, but I'm gonna accept it as being B, because B just sounds so badass.
He has a fully working electronic walkie-talkie.
It can't be, because then you would have to have a receptive, like another walkie-talkie to be able to talk with somebody using it. So I mean, it clearly isn't B. I want it to be B.
Final answer, my friend.
I'll go with the vacuum cleaner.
Vacuum cleaner. For 7 points, the vacuum cleaner is correct. Here's what it looked like. Titus the Heroic Giant, released only in Italy during the dying days of the original line.
What is he?
A scoop up figure-sized figure with his giant vacuum cleaner.
He's a hairdresser. What are you talking about?
Why is he trying to give Trapjaw a blowout?
I don't have hair. I forget his voice. That's so stupid. That's so stupid.
Either Andy or Naveen pointed this out on the original quiz. For some reason, Titus, the Heroic Giant Titus, in his Italian release, for whatever reason, has a giant G on his chest plate.
What? G-Unit?
Is G for
Yeah. He is a G. Here's to my G. Who's that guy on the right there?
That was probably, with all of these things, they would always make like a comparable villain.
That's like B-side Titus.
Yeah.
Good God, he's like a.
It looks like an orc.
Kind of, yeah, maybe like an orc. Yeah, it could be an orc.
A green orc.
Something like that. Jesus, somebody designed that mold. That's incredible. I mean, Titus is just kind of like giant, sexier He-Man.
Right. Pretty cross-eyed also. I don't know what the Italian word for that is.
I think that's because of his bandana. Is that a helmet? Bandana? I don't know what it is. Well, it comes right in his nose, right? Like it goes around his head and then...
It's all made of metal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That must be painful. Like,
probably like lead. That's why.
Yeah, the lead. That's why he's vacuuming people's heads. What does he get out?
Got a lot of bad information in his life.
Yeah.
All right, well, very cool, very impressive. That was our second pass at Maximum Cringer. Eric, like a little bit of a rocky start, but what ran 5 for 5 on the back half was amazing.
Fucking Titus.
All right.
Oh my God. I'm not. I don't even feel like good that I was right about that one. So insane. Who's?
Yeah.
80s.
We're an audio podcast also, but for like any listeners, every time Eric did one of those right, he did a split.
I did the splits and then I jerked everybody off in the room, which was just myself.
All right. Episode 98, Rebels Without a Pod, Bloodsport, wrapping up hopefully soon our review of both the 87 and 2026 Masters of the Universe. Gentlemen, any closing thoughts before we call it a night?
I got nothing here. Just, Bloodsport, I'd say still give it a watch. Masters of the Universe toys, I'd say still give it a watch.
Yeah.
Yep. I have one thing to say.
One thing to say.
Kumite. 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 Kumite.
And then Forrest Whitaker.
Hand job.
And Forrest Whitaker's just like, this dim sum was the most delicious thing I've tasted in my entire life.
This is the best summer internship ever.
So good. Take care, gentlemen. See everybody soon.
Good night.
Later.